Alright, we're going to squat today. So we're going to do a little pre-mobility warm-up here. So let's get you guys on these mats. We're going to go into a deep lunge. And I know you guys come in ready to rock and roll and work out, so I'm not going to take too much of your time by talking here. But we talk a lot about working out. Obviously, this is a gym. But if we never address nutrition, I think we're doing you guys a disservice, all right? Because many people come here to lose weight. And if you're only working out to lose weight, that's a one-sided way to fight that battle, okay? So I want to just take 10 minutes here and touch on some high points. This is a handout, actually, if you could pass that out for me. And these are some basics. I've talked to quite a few of you individually lately about how much exercise you're doing, and I often hear I'm coming to the gym in the morning, and then I'm going and running or lifting extra in the evening, and I'm not losing any weight. You can work out all day long, but if what you're putting in your mouth is more than what you're burning, then you're not going to lose weight. I mean, it's that simple. There is a calories in, calories out type of thing. There's a little more to it than that. But if you just want to lose weight, I would tell you to get your diet squared away, because that's most important. Okay? So first thing on this paper is you cannot out-train a bad diet. You can't work out that much. It's just not going to happen. Okay? So calories in, calories out. Is it that simple? No, it's not that simple. Think about it this way. Say I'm eating a diet of egg whites or eggs and chicken and fish and beef and vegetables. That's what I'm eating throughout the day. 2,000 calories. It's keeping me at 200 pounds. If I eat 2,000 calories of ice cream and beer a day, am I going to look the same? No, I'm not. My performance is going to be different. My body composition is going to be different. Probably not going to feel as good. So it's not just as easy as calories in, calories out. They are part of the equation, calories, but the quality of those calories and what source, what macronutrients they're coming from has a lot to do with it, okay? I'm going to preach to you guys the way to measure your food. If you've never done it before, you should try it, okay? Because I often, when people come to me and say, I need help with my diet, I say, how much protein are you eating? I don't know, I'm getting enough though. I'm doing 2 protein shakes a day, plus I eat this, I eat that. I said, all right. I often say, all right, write down everything you're eating for 3 days and send it to me. And then what I sit down and do is figure out how much protein you're getting every day, how much carbohydrate you're getting every day, how much fat you're getting. So break it down into macronutrients and then look at the whole thing kind of like a pie chart. Oftentimes, the protein is way low, okay? Roughly, we'd like to see you roughly eating 33% of everything. So 33% of your calories coming from protein, 33% from carbohydrate, and 33% fat. Now, that varies widely depending on what doctor you listen to, what book you read, on and on and on. But I can tell you from experience, I feel the best eating that way. 1/3 of everything. Maybe not that high on fat, maybe a little higher on carbohydrate. Okay, we're going to leave some, we'll say 10% wiggle room in there. But often when people send their stuff back to me and I figure it out and I tell them, hey, this is what you're eating, it looks more like 60% carbohydrate, 15% protein, and the rest fat. Okay? So if you don't know what you're eating, it's tough to make changes and say I'm eating more of this or less of this. Unless you actually know, you put it on and you got an idea of what you're eating. You can also do the opposite of that, which is what a lot of bodybuilders do when they get diets from other people. They say, eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast, 20 grams of and 15 grams of fat at breakfast. And then you have to find a food to fit that macronutrient profile, which is a little bit tougher to do. Okay? I'm going to try to keep this as basic as possible today, give you guys some resources to go to. You can always come to a trainer as well if you have questions. Another question we need to know is what is your primary reason for changing your diet? Body composition, health, or performance? Usually it's all three. Everybody wants to look good naked, everybody wants to be pretty healthy, and everybody wants to come in here and kick ass, as it should be, okay? They're all related, but what your primary concern is here may dictate how your diet differs from someone else, okay? If your primary objective is body composition and losing body fat, I'm going to tell you that you need to watch your carbohydrates, and you need to make sure you're getting enough. If health is your primary objective, you need to make sure you're eating enough vegetables and eating quality food. Same with performance. Where those calories are coming from, they're coming from good sources. Alright? So quality has a lot to do with it. Supplements. We've been getting a lot of questions about supplements lately, especially since we've started selling some. These are the big hitters, the ones that I would recommend to you. One of them I would not recommend to you, but creatine. If your primary objective is to build strength, get stronger, and you've reached a plateau, creatine. It works. There's different kinds out there, micronized, monohydrate. They're all close to the same. The good old-fashioned monohydrate works pretty well, so does the micronized. Multivitamin. It's kind of an insurance policy. If you eat the same foods every day, day after day after day, you're probably not getting a wide array of micronutrients, which you need, okay? So that's kind of like an insurance. I would recommend it. Greens powder. If you know you're not eating enough vegetables, fresh vegetables, this is a good supplement to take. It ensures that you're getting those micronutrients that you need for a healthy diet. Fat burners and pre-workouts. All these are stimulants. If you're dragging ass after work and you need something to get you in here, get you going, I would say first try a cup of coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker, then you might want to try one of these. But the FDA has found some nasty stuff in some of these pre-workout stuff. They've related the compounds to methamphetamines. It's ridiculous. I mean, people have popped positive on drug tests. A CrossFit guy for taking one of these, and they said it was cross-contamination with something else they were making in that. The bottom line is, supplements are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, so they can be putting anything in there they want and put whatever they want on the label, and you don't know what's in it. Protein powder. Highly recommend. Protein bars. Depends on the protein bar. Read what's in it. If it's got 12 ingredients that you can't pronounce that have 14 syllables, probably not the best thing to be eating. Also, even the Atkins bars or the Zone bars do not fit into a Zone profile. You read online the links in here later on what a Zone meal looks like. Their own bars don't even fit into what a Zone profile meal is. So be careful with what you're taking in there. Just because it's a protein bar, it's just really a candy bar put in a different wrapper with protein on it. Glucosamine sulfate or chondroitin. A lot of people say this helps them. A lot of people say it's junk. Might depend on the product or could be just individual to you. If you're having joint pain, first thing I would say is, are you hydrated? The second thing I would say is, are you doing the required mobility to keep your joints healthy? If you're still having joint problems, then I would try something like this. Food labels can often be very confusing. Low fat, low carb. What did they replace that? When they took the fat out, what did they replace it with that tastes better or good? Most of the time, sugar, right? And I'll tell you, sugar is killing more people now than fat. And all the latest research is heading that way. We already talked about balanced diet. So let's say that body composition is something that you're interested in. There's lots of different ways to measure your body fat. One is anthropomorphy, which is taking your measurements, sometimes your waist, around your belly button, your neck, your wrist, then your body weight, plugging it in, and it'll spit you out a number. Now, these aren't perfect, neither are calipers. There's a percentage range, a standard deviation that says most people fit inside the bell curve, and this will work for you. For instance, I am not one of those people that fit inside the bell curve. If I do the anthropomorphy on me, it comes off way skewed. There's other ways to do it. You can go to the pod at Akron U. You can ask me. I have another route. It's a version of anthropomorphy to figure it out for you. I think it's $20 if you go to Akron U, and that is within 2 to 3%. If you're really interested in it. But the reason I bring it up is because when you construct a diet, I want you to base it off of your lean body mass. But your lean body mass is what we're going to base your protein requirement off of. And this is kind of a zone way to figure out what you should be eating. So say I have on your paper here a couple examples. Let's go to the 200-pound guy. He's 20% body fat, so that means he's carrying 40 pounds of fat. He's got 160 pounds of lean body mass. So we would recommend for that guy to eat 160 grams of protein per day. So if we're recommending that 33% of your calories come from protein, that means we're going to also recommend that you eat 160 grams of carbohydrates per day. And then that would equate to 71 grams of fat per day. Now, there's a little leeway in here. Is 10, 12, 20, 30 calories going to make a huge difference? No. But we want it to be as close to that as we can. Now, is that going to fit everybody? No, it's not. For the sedentary person, it's not going to be the same as it is for CrossFit. So activity level also has a lot to do with that. This is a broad stroke, a broad base, painting a picture with painting a wall with a roller, okay? So what you have to do is determine exactly what you're taking in, do the diet, see how you feel, see how your body weight goes up or down, see how your performance goes up or down, and then adjust from there. I put a couple more examples on here, just of a 140-pound person, 200-pound guy with 30% body fat. You can look at those on your own, but it's not too hard to figure out. Once you have your lean body mass, then you can start putting some numbers on paper and messing with macros. Okay? I also wrote a couple of strategies on here. Some people get on a diet, and first of all, diet is really should not be the temporary term. I'm on a diet. Because if you eat that way for a short period of time and lose some weight, good for you. Hopefully you learn something. But if you put it all back on when you go off of your diet, what good have you done? Well, we know you can do it now. This is supposed to be more of a lifestyle change. So you want to learn something from it, of course, but you want to make those habits and that pattern of eating lifelong. Okay? So you want to make these changes realistic. We often get questions about, what do you guys recommend? Paleo, Atkins, Zone, vegetarian? I don't recommend any of them. I recommend all of them. It depends on you. What I would say about Paleo and Atkins, they're great diets for losing weight. They're not sustainable. I haven't met anybody yet that says I'm still on the Zone diet or the Atkins diet 5 years now. Maybe they're out there, I just don't know. Okay? Because it's not sustainable. If you take dairy or bread or whatever out of your diet completely, unless you're the person that just is okay with not eating bread ever, that's going to be a really tough thing to do. So moderation is the key. Zone is pretty, you don't have to take anything out of your diet for Zone. The Mediterranean diet, South Beach diet is an excellent diet. Got off on a little tangent there. So strategies I wrote in here in my own handwriting. just some different strategies you can use. If you don't buy junk, it won't be in your house, you won't eat it, unless you're out and about and you come across something. But if you have it for your kids or whatever, you're going to eat it. I know how it is, believe me. Don't buy it, you won't eat it. You don't want your kids eating that crap anyway, do you? So don't buy it for them. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store. If you ever go into a grocery store, walk around the edge of it, you will find fresh meat, fresh vegetables, dairy products, usually stuff that is pretty decent for you. In my Giant Eagle, they just recently changed that and put the bread on the outside aisle. I think they're on to us, so take it for what it's worth. If you're always hungry, drink a full glass of water before you sit down to eat. Okay, that's just a little tip, strategy, fill up your belly. You can't, I don't think you can be too hydrated, all right? It's tough for us to be too hydrated. Consistency, the mental aspect of this. You know, say you do really good for 2 or 3 months, your diet's going well, you lose some weight. Talking too long, sorry. And you lost a bunch of weight, and you fall off the wagon, you go to a high school reunion, you get blasted, eat a bunch of cheesecake, you feel horrible, so what? You gotta enjoy life. Have your days where you're gonna eat some stuff that may not be so healthy. It's okay. If you build up a reserve long enough, if you've eaten enough things for long enough that are good for you, you do build up a reserve. You can handle some of that sugar, you can metabolize it and burn it off. If you do it every other day, if you have a cheat day every other day, that's not so good. So don't beat yourself up when you do fall off. The mental aspect, there's a lot to this. And I think we've all had the experience of feeling mentally hungry or physically. Okay? You can go 24 hours without not eating, but if you're busy, if you're doing stuff, you don't even notice that you're not hungry. But if you eat a banana and a glass of orange juice as soon as you get out of bed, you're going to be hungry in 2 hours. You're going to be freaking starving because you just took in a bunch of carbohydrate, your insulin went through the roof, and that makes you hungry. Okay? So ask yourself, am I hungry or am I hungry? Because there's a difference. All right? Some simple stuff here. Eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, simple fruit, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. That's as basic as it gets. That's in 100 words of CrossFit. So if what you're eating fits into that, you're on the right track. Eat your lean body mass and protein. That's something we talked about already. Girls, again, this is a broad brush here. Eat less than 100 grams of carbohydrates a day. 100 or less, depending on how big you are. Guys, 150. That'll get you going in the right direction. Took up enough of your time. Any questions? You guys got your hips all opened up, been in a lunge a long time? Turn it over to Bailey. Thanks.
Grab the ropes. Well, first, find somewhere to put the pieces of paper.
Get your radio back up, Bailey.